survived it, what are you doing now? If you survived it, that means no matter what comes your way, you're gonna overcome it. You're gonna overcome it. As a child, I didn't know exactly what it meant to have a peace of mind. I didn't know exactly what it meant to have faith of a mustard seed. But when you start going through things in your life, and storms get to raging, you start understanding just what mama said, just what your parents try to tell you. You understand all of that. And in this lifetime right now, a peace of mind is the best thing you can ever have. Especially when you went through this and you went through that and you got through this and you got through that. Because you survived it. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Normally, I don't talk about politics because politics to me is a very, very touchy topic, just like religion. Those two things I don't discuss. But I felt the need to talk about this election today. I wonder, has America failed us? Our ancestors died for us to have a voice, died so we would be able to vote and have that right. Now that I'm looking at the footage from the election, I wonder, what are we doing? What are we doing? Now, we learn in school that the vote that matters is the local votes. The people that we put in the seats in the House, in Congress, our state officials, those votes matter because these people that we put in those seats are the ones that are actually voting on the president of the United States. So my question to you is, are you voting on the local level to make sure that the right person gets put in the seat? And I wonder, have we failed ourselves? America is supposed to be one of the richest places to be. You have people that wish they can live in America. We often talk about making America great again, but what does that really mean, to make America great again? There's so many things that's worth fighting for. So many laws that have been passed that should not have been passed. So many laws that should be passed to protect people. It's sad to me because just thinking back to the past and all the things that our ancestors went through, just for us to get to a point where we're second guessing our life in America. And I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts? I wonder if the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had is in vain. It makes me think about a lot of different things that happened over the course of my life with the activists that have fought for this very right to vote. If this is not a praying time, I don't know what to tell you. But this is the time where we should be praying. This is the time that we should come together as a nation and stand together and make a change. This is the time that we need to start using our voice to fight back. Using our voice to speak up about the things that we feel. Speak up about the things that should change. We need to start being the change. But instead, we sit back and we allow so many things to go down, and then we wonder why the decision is the decision. Because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. And I can be the first to admit that I am guilty of that fact. My mom is always telling me, Nikki, did you vote? Nikki, why didn't you vote? Or not saying that voting is not important to me, but the vote that's important to me is the congressmen, the senators, the governors, the mayors, all those people on the lower levels are the people that are putting the president in place. Now, knowing what I do know about history and knowing what I know about the government from school, of course, the president is just the face of the United States. The president cannot make the decisions for the world. And America has been fighting for so long to be great again. It's been years since America has been truly great. It's been so many leaders to come across to try to fix a lot of mess that was already in the White House from the beginning. So oftentimes I don't blame the president because they go in there with a bunch of mess to fix. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about Kamala. They have a lot of negative things to say about Obama. They have a lot of negative things to say about Biden. But truth be told, out of all the presidents we've had over the past few years, who has truly made a change? Minimum wage should be way more than what it is. There's a lot of things that need to change. Gas prices are ridiculous. Inflation in general is ridiculous. Can't even go in the grocery store without almost having a heart attack because the food is so high. Can't even buy a house these days because the interest rates are so high. Can't even buy a car because the interest rates are so high. Everything is high. But then you go to a job that's barely paying you anything to pay these bills. And so you're struggling from day to day off this paycheck and going to a job that you're working hard on, by the way. And just the mere fact of them taking away Social Security scares me. All these years, money has been coming out our checks. And how dare you say you want to take Social Security away? Even just looking at my mother and looking at the people in her age group, the Social Security that they do get, it still doesn't pay the bills. It's still a struggle to survive. Elderly people have a hard time trying to live after working so hard all their lives. Some of them started off making $1 and some change an hour. Just imagine if you worked for $1 and some change an hour and you still had to take care of a household. You had to pay the bills. You had to buy groceries. You had to take care of the kids. You had to get the things that the kids needed too. Now, of course, back then, the cost of living when it wasn't as high as it is now. But every day is a scary day. Every day you face something new and you wonder, well, dog, what's going to happen now? What is going to happen now? How is the world going to change now? How am I going to be affected? Me being a African American female in United States of America is a scary feeling when it comes down to the government. I just wonder what's going to happen next. How are they going to make changes? And just sitting and watching the numbers climb and just seeing who could possibly this president be again. Again, it's scary. It's scary and it's heartbreaking. I encourage you to get out and vote. in your local areas, your mayors, your your congressmen, your senators, your governors. These people are important. These people are the people that's going to make a change in the world. We have to start standing up and standing together to make change happen. Instead of just sitting back and allowing things to happen on its own. Back in the day, activists, they marched until they a decision was their way. They marched not just a little bit, but they marched miles and miles and sung gospel songs until victory came. Now we just sit back and we just allow things to happen and we don't even use our voice to make a difference. It is time for us to start praying. It's time for us to start standing up for the things that we believe in. It is time for us to be heard by the right people and make the right decisions and put the right people in the seats. I am so sad about this. And normally I would not talk about politics or religion. I stay away from these topics because these topics can lead you down a very, very emotional level in your life if you're not careful. Life is too short. Life is too short. And every decision that we make in our life is a grand decision. It's a big decision. And having to sit and watch the numbers, something I've never wanted to do. I've never really sat and watched the election the way I did. And I just don't understand why. Why? And I want to know your thoughts. I want to know, how do you feel at this very moment? Do you feel like America's failed us, or do you feel like you failed America by not doing what you were supposed to do? By not using your voice in this situation, by not putting the right people in the right place for the right thing to happen? Have we failed our ancestors? Have we failed them? Was their fight and their deaths in vain? Were their words unheard? They had the courage to speak up. They had the courage to fight. They had the courage to fight until the death of them. For us not to put the right people in places to make the right decisions, America, we have to do better. We have to start standing on business in 2025, 2024. It starts today. It's time for us to stand up and use our voice for what it means. Your voice is a powerful thing. They said the tongue is a powerful piece. It can change your life. It can change anything if you just stand up, believe, and use your voice. And I encourage the people that are in the political world, push, fight, speak, open your mouth so you can activate change in this world. It makes me wonder, are we really paying attention? Are we woke? Are we thinking about the things that are happening in this world and how big of an impact it can make on this world? This really saddens me that we don't take the simplest things serious. This is serious. And what I don't understand about this situation is, here it is, a man that's a felon that was allowed to run for president. But yet, you don't let a felon go vote. Make that make sense to me. And possibly, this is very sad. And this is the main reason why I don't speak on this topic, because it's so serious and it gets me to a point where I'm very emotional about it. Politics and religion. But when I say that we need God right now, we need God right now. We need him every day. But in order for America to be great again, in order for America to move in the right direction, in order for America to be where it needs to be, we have to start using our voices. We first to go on our knees and pray. It has to start with God, because God has the last say of whatever is going to happen in this world. Every single day that you wake up, pray for America. Pray for America and the people within America. Life is already hard enough out here. It's people that are literally fighting every day to breathe and survive. And what do? We make the situation worse than what it already is. I encourage you to break the silence in America. Break the silence in your lives. Break the silence all over. And remember that every single hour of the day, every single minute of the day, every single second of the day is a moment to use your voice and make life better. Because nobody knows the hour, nobody knows the minute, nobody knows the second that we're going to leave this world. While we're in it, we might as well do what we have to do to live in it. If this is not an eye-opener for America, I don't know what is. It's time for us to be heard. It's time for us to heal. It's time for change. And that change starts with you. You, and you. And if we stand together and we band together, then we can make change happen sooner. And I say this all the time. If we can stand together and win together, we can stand together and make a change together. Together, we can break the silence. Together, we can make things better on all levels of life. Once we start realizing that our voice really matters and our voice carries a lot of power, then guess what? We can make a difference. As you go through your day-to-day, I would like for you to reflect on what America means to you, what your ancestors mean to you. What is your definition of freedom? What is your definition of freedom? How do you view your life? How are you breaking your silence in your life? And reflect on what just happened in America. But God still has the last say. So until next time, I hope that you take everything that I've said in this segment and you think about the things that you are currently dealing with in your life and find a way to use your voice to make a change. Because tomorrow is not promised. So until next time, use your voice to make a difference later. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope you found inspiration and insight in our conversation today. Remember, your voice matters, and sharing your story can be a powerful way to connect with others. So if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends and your family. Join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the YouTube channel for the next episode as I continue to explore the journeys that empower us to break from the silence. Until then, keep shining, winning, and unleashing your inner voice. Remember to use your voice to make a difference.